So here we have a function that's raised to a high power of 50. Anytime you have something like this where a function is raised to a very high exponent and you're trying to find the derivative of that, you can just assume that you're going to use the chain rule, because trying to expand this out and then find the derivative of each individual component would take a substantial amount of time. So our chain rule is here. It's when you find the derivative of our outside function and then multiply it by our inside function that remains unchanged, and then you multiply that by the derivative of our inside function. So looking at this here, when you have something that's raised to an exponent, you can always assume that the exponent is going to be your outside value, and then the function inside the parentheses is going to be your inside value. So here's our inside, and here's our outside. And then we can just kind of break this down left to right. So we just need to find the derivative of our outside value, and we do that by using our power rule. And since we have this exponent of 50, we can assume that that's going to be our n value. So to use the power rule, we're going to bring our n value to the front, and then subtract this by 1, and leaving, but like our chain rule formula says here, we leave our inside function unchanged. So we'll bring our 50 over here. Our inside function remains unchanged, 17x squared minus 5x. And then I'm sticking with our power rule, 50 minus 1 puts that to the power of 49. So now the first half of our chain rule is done. Now we just have to multiply this by the derivative of our inside function. So the derivative of 17x squared, we bring this, our n value here is 2, and then we multiply it by the leading coefficient, which gives us 34x, and then 2 minus 1 is just 1, so we just leave x as is. And then minus 5x, x to the first minus 1, just x to the 0, which is 1, so we just leave 5 as is. And that's our final answer. So the big thing here is just trying to figure out what your inside and outside functions are. Just to reiterate, anytime you have this exponent with a function, you always assume this is going to be your outside function, and just use the chain rule, and then leave your function in the middle, inside as is, and then multiply it by the derivative of this inside function.